am really enjoying Whatnot. I have basically given up Etsy and eBay. Don't typically go live every single day. Maybe they do. Good for them for finding time in the day, but I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. to do that. This used to be my main display area, this section, and then I added all of this section because it just wasn't enough space. Okay, everything is in shambles right now. I'm moving stuff around. Okay, I don't know. Still all over the place. I just tried to shove more stuff on the table because I'm clearing off my computer area and moving that over to this area because I'm usually standing and doing stuff at my computer anyway, and at this taller counter it'll be fine. And then I can expand my display area this way. It just wasn't enough space. I wanted to talk a little bit about Whatnot and how it's been going the last 2 months. The first video I did was only a week in, and I had only done a couple shows. I remember talking about my first show and that I sold 7 things, and I was really excited about that because some days I wouldn't sell a thing on Etsy or eBay or Marketplace. I'm also packing this shirt up and shipping it off. I know it's in rough shape, you can see that. That really doesn't matter sometimes. I sold this on eBay, and I know that it can be sold for more. I know it's worth more than I'm selling it for, and it really makes me sad to let it go. And it was just like waiting for a sale, and I would come here into the office and I would list stuff and wait. A lot of the times I would get messages on Marketplace, and I think we all know what Marketplace is like, where we list a thing, we get a message, we get excited that somebody's gonna buy your thing, but all they do is ask if it's available, and you go, yes, it is. And then they flake, right? They ghost, they disappear. That was basically what it was like for me, and I never really had a huge following. I couldn't do Instagram sales. That never worked for me, but Whatnot has been great. Anyway, I've basically given up eBay and Etsy. Not completely. I've made a few sales on eBay in the last month. Recently, I've been getting a lot of attention on Etsy. I don't know if it's people from Whatnot finding my Etsy shop and favoriting it and finding items for sale and favoriting those. I'm not sure, but it makes me want to add a little bit more to Etsy, especially now that the holidays are coming. I feel like maybe I can get some sales there too. But I am juggling a lot. As you know, I am living full-time in an RV, and that takes up a lot of time. There are a lot of chores to be done on that side. I have been on Whatnot for 2 months now. I try to do a show every day, although that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you just need to take a day to get your shipping done and then get set up for the next sale. I am really bad about loading photos and items into my store to kind of just go random when I go live. I like to show what I have and then wait for people to make a request. And that's not everybody's style. Some people just load item numbers into their store, no photo whatsoever, no description, and then they just run the items in order, and then they just grab from a pile. I don't know. I don't see people's behind the scenes, so I don't really know. Maybe they have their jewelry hanging on hooks, or with clothing, I've seen racks and they'll just run item numbers, and they'll pull the next item off the rack, and whatever item they pull is by default the next item. Since I don't load stuff into my store, I have loaded some things in this store, but I'm not good at it. And that's why I'm not really good at Etsy, because it takes so much time to load photos, to take the photos, to set up the photo, to take a decent photo. It's so time consuming, so I suck at it. But what I'm okay at is just showing my items. Look at this piece, look at that piece. I have all this jewelry behind me, and I'm really passionate about jewelry, so I'm pretty good at talking about it, I guess. Since I don't load a lot of things into my store ahead of time, which takes time, and those that do that don't typically go live every single day. Maybe they do, good for them for finding time in the day, but I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. to do that. So if somebody says, I like that necklace, run it, and it doesn't happen to be in my store, I have to take that time to load it in. So I'm not gonna take a photo of it at that point because it's live and they see the item, I will give it a title: gold tone vintage green pendant necklace. Sure. And then in the description, I'll be a little more specific than most would be. I'll say gold tone, green pendant. Maybe I'll have a length. If I happen to measure it for somebody, I might write that in like 24-inch chain or something. And then you put the weights, say 0 to 1 ounce, and then you run it. And then once you run it, then you put in the starting price. Then I'll know which item goes where when I'm ready to ship out the item. Instead of item number 7, I can go, oh, that gold tone green pendant necklace goes to whoever.
Hey, want to help us out? Subscribe to our channel. It's totally free and it would really bring us joy. Then click the bell notification so you know when we have a new video up. Thanks.
Some people do like to come in and hang out with you and just see what you have, and they come in for the vibes and the views, you know? I think there's others that like the fast pace of run the next item, what's next? People have their camera facing an empty display or bust or mannequin or whatever it is, and then they just wait for the next item. And between items, they're looking at nothing. They're looking at an empty bust. I don't particularly like that, so I have a ton of shit to see and view at all times. I try to scan as much as I can and show people what I have available, and that's my style. I'm never gonna be a fast-paced auctioneer. I'm never gonna not put in item titles and descriptions. And that's just my style. Everyone has their own style and whatnot, and that's kind of why whatnot is unique. I am really enjoying whatnot. I have basically given up Etsy and eBay. Ignore that part. I'm not completely giving up on Etsy. eBay, I don't do as much, but Etsy I will get back into. I do feel like I'll be adding more stuff to my store very soon. Stay tuned for that. I will be putting my whatnot link and my Etsy link and my eBay link all in the description, so check those out. Also check out my first whatnot video that will be there. That was only a week into whatnot and I was still pretty happy with it. I remember talking about letting things go for cheap, and that's something I do want to talk about again. I can afford to do that in a sense for a lot of my items. A lot of the vintage jewelry that I have is not, how do I put this? It is not super high quality designer pieces that I need to get top dollar for. They are custom jewelry pieces. Some of them are nice, some of them are signed, some are marked and are nice, but I've had them for a long time. I can afford to let them go at really cheap prices. For now, I do offer handmade one-of-a-kind pieces as well, and those necklaces, they're mostly necklaces. I do have earrings and bracelets, but they're mostly necklaces. Those pieces, I need to get a little bit more for. I took time and a lot of thought went into these pieces that I created with my hands, you know, and I want to get paid for that. I have let go a few pieces of mine for cheaper than I wanted to, and I have started to raise my prices. It's nicer to get that exposure for your handmade jewelry, because I was offering my handmade pieces on Etsy as well, and I rarely sold those pieces. I did way better with vintage decor items on Etsy than I ever did with my handmade jewelry. I am selling more and more of my personal handmade jewelry on whatnot than I ever have, and I couldn't be more happy about that. I have built up pretty good following. Not as many as some. There are people on whatnot that came with a bunch of followers in advance, and I never really had that many followers on Etsy or Instagram. So it's nice that I am getting that here on whatnot. I remember a week in, I was pretty happy with the followers I was getting, and I was getting them consistently, regularly. They were coming in, even when I wasn't in other people's streams or streaming myself. You would see a random follow come in and I'd be like, how did that happen? I wasn't even out there to be seen. But if you schedule your shows in advance, people will see those. people will bookmark them and people will follow you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. So now I didn't do a show today because I had to do some shipping and I have to do some filming. But I will be scheduling a show for tomorrow, so hopefully people will see that, bookmark it, and you might get new followers from that. So another feature on Whatnot are giveaways. Everyone loves a giveaway. It's free. People love free shit. I used to do a giveaway in every single show. I don't do that anymore because it's free for the buyer or free for the winner or your customer, but then us as seller, we have to pay shipping on that. But what's great about the giveaway, it encourages people to buy more because that giveaway unlocks discounted shipping. Discounted shipping means that their first item has been paid for, and then their next item is like usually, well, for jewelry, it's usually a quarter or 50 cents, depending on the weight, which is a deal. So then if they win something and then they see something they like, then they know, oh, well, shipping is gonna be super cheap for me. So maybe they'll buy again. But not always the case. When you do a giveaway, people come out of the woodwork, man. They just come in and somehow these people that haven't been in your show for the last hour and a half, they win something and they leave. Aww. And that's kind of annoying. It is what it is, but you end up with a new follower. Whether or not they come back and buy anything from you in the future, you never know. So I stopped doing giveaways every single show because as much fun as I'm having, I am here to make money. I have stopped doing most all of eBay and Etsy, so this is now my full-time gig. So I am trying to make a living here and paying for somebody's shipping that isn't going to continue to buy from me every single show. It gets to be a lot. So I've been doing giveaways when I get to a certain number of followers. I did a 400 follower giveaway, and then I think I did a giveaway between 400 and 500, but then I did a 500 follower giveaway, and I'm approaching 600 followers now, and I'll be doing another giveaway, and I'm promising a sterling silver giveaway at 600 followers. So I'm getting there. At this point, we aren't quite there, or maybe we're something like 550-ish. But let's talk about that, like how I am here to make money. I am here to make sales. I am here to clear out all the crap that I have accumulated over the years, all the crap that I've inherited, and make money. That's the goal here. But while doing that, I have met some incredible people. I have made friends, and I have just made great connections that I didn't expect to make. I'm so happy that it's happened that way. I can only see it growing and getting better. And it reminds me, I think I said this before, that it reminds me a lot of Periscope, where I just found like-minded people, found people to connect with, people to share ideas with, and that part is super fun. I've really enjoyed meeting a lot of you. And maybe at some point we will meet IRL, and that will be a lot of fun too. At this point, I do have regular buyers that I couldn't be more grateful for. I love it so much. I love that they love my items. I love that they are happy with the items they're receiving to come back and buy more. To have that, all a girl can ask for, right? That sells jewelry, that sells online, that sells on Etsy. I don't know if I've had that many repeat buyers on Etsy, but I do here and I love it. It's so much more personal. I think people are more trusting of you when you're right there talking to them about the piece and they can see items live and you handling the items. They're just more likely to buy something that way. And I know Etsy integrated videos where you can show a video of an item. It really does help a buyer see and understand what they're getting. This live auction, you really do get to see the detail and everything you would need and want to know as a buyer. A lot of buyers on Whatnot do come in expecting garage sale prices. I know that's what eBay kind of became, where you go in and you have that make an offer option, right? You see a price, that's more than I'd like to pay, make an offer. And That's kind of what this is like. And I don't have personally the following yet to start auctions at $1. I know people love dollar starts. I know people love dollar starts. I don't have that kind of following. If I did, how fun would that be to run things for $1 and know that you're still gonna get a decent price for that item because there are enough people in your stream that will bid and that will fight it out. Enough people will want that item, and you know you're not going to get screwed. If I did that, every single item would go for $1. If they went at all, you don't know. So I can't do that yet. I don't have that following. I really wish I did. The real goal here, I think I'm at, let me check. Okay, so here's what I'm at. Here are my stats. I'm at 563 followers. My next giveaway will be at 600 followers. I have 100 reviews, and I have 408 items sold. The goal right now for me is to sell 1,000 items, because at that point you get paid out almost immediately. I think you get paid out once you print the label. It's not like immediate, but once you print out that label, cha-ching. I mean, I think that's how it works. I don't know. My rating went down. I'm at a 4.88 rating. I don't know. There's like 2 different ratings, which confuses me. 4.88 out of 5. You can't please everyone, but I try really hard to show what I'm selling. And then another thing is you get rated on your packaging. Was it packaged well? Did it arrive safely? Those kind of things. And I feel like I do a pretty good job packaging. I do use recycled boxes and recycled things to package, but it's never anything too weird. I think reusing a box to ship a necklace is not a big deal. I've been doing it forever on Etsy and eBay, and not once have had any kind of negative comments or anything, but for sure have had some mention of that here on Whatnot, and it is what it is. You are allowed to advertise your other shop sites, your YouTube page, your Etsy, your eBay. You're allowed to talk about those things. Some people don't think that they can and kind of go, oh, not supposed to talk about that, but you can. What you can't do is direct people to your Etsy and say, hey, purchase this from me over here on Etsy. That's not cool. Can't do that. But you can say, yeah, I have an Etsy. I'm Audrey Lane on Etsy. And then they can go find it themselves. What they end up doing from there, I don't know. That's not my problem, really. So I did end up getting a couple subscribers from Whatnot, because you do develop relationships with your customers here, which is awesome. And then they naturally become curious about who you are. What are your interests? What do you like? What do you do? Obviously we have the same interests. We love jewelry. So I have shared my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and I'll show this little post-it, you know. I try not to push it, and that's great that people are interested in you beyond what you do here on Whatnot, and that just happens naturally. Am I blowing up? Hell no. Am I blowing up on Whatnot? Hell no. Am I happy with the last 2 months on Whatnot? Yeah, very much so. And I will be sticking with it and trying to go live every day. I know that's not for everybody. Going live every day is exhausting. Talking to yourself, essentially. You're talking to a chat, but you don't hear voices. You hear your own voice for a few hours every single evening. And once I end my stream, like, my head is buzzing. It's a lot. It takes a lot out of me, for sure. And so when I do have those days off, I still come into the office, I do shipping, I try to maybe get set up for my next show, and I'm still working, but I'm not talking to myself for hours at a time, and it gets to be a lot. And some people choose to only do weekly shows. Some people go 2 or 3 times a week. I am still doing let's see, probably 5 to 6 shows a week. I am definitely not on camera like this during my shows. I am behind the camera and you see my hands, my very unmanicured hands. Sorry guys. I don't have time to do my nails before a show. I wake up, I make coffee, I hang out with my fella. I slowly get into my day because I drive 30 minutes here. Usually I have a couple errands to run beforehand. I ship out stuff from the show the night before. Then I try to get the packages to the post office before they close at 6. And then I scramble to get back here, set up my show. And I usually go live around 4:45, 5 p.m. And then I'm usually live until about 7:30 or 8 p.m. And that's a lot. 5 to 8 and on average is a long time to be talking to yourself. It's a job and it's a great job. It's a great job. It beats working at a grocery store or all the other millions of places that are currently hiring right now. No thank you. No thank you. Perfectly happy doing this. I will stick to this. I am happy here and I really don't have anything negative to say about whatnot. Here's one thing. Getting paid. I know that I mentioned this before about once you make 1,000 sales, you get paid almost immediately. How I'm getting paid now is trickling. The money trickles in. I like to make a certain amount every evening and I feel like, okay, this will cover me. And once you do a show every night and the money starts coming in my head, I was thinking, okay, well now I'm gonna get paid almost daily and this will start to build, right? And I'll get paid often enough if I keep doing them every night. But it's based on when the item arrives, or when the item is delivered to your customer, which varies a ton. So you get paid 48 to 72 hours after delivery. So I always say to Steven, here's some money trickling in again. Like I'll get a notification, oh, $4 was just added to your account. Oh, $6. And that's what my items do go for, $4 and $6. Or that's what I end up making from these items. Not a ton. But then you get excited, oh, $20 was added, 15, whatever it is. But it's a trickle and it's not ideal. So after 2 months on Whatnot, I can say I am a happy seller. I am not your typical host. I don't have your typical setup for a jewelry seller, and I'm just not your typical jewelry seller. But I'm very happy, and I am very happy with this platform. I'm more happy with it than I've ever been on eBay and Etsy. And I am here to stay, I guess. I like it. I like the opportunities that it's brought me. I like the customers that it's brought me. And I like the people that I have met and the connections I have made. And I'll be here tomorrow. So check out my auction tomorrow. 4:45, 5 p.m.-ish Central Time is about when I go live every day. Bookmark my shows, come say hello, and check out my jewelry. I have a lot of cool jewelry. I'm gonna show the unboxing of this because I'm really excited to get it. Oh, what is this? This is the ring. Check out this ring. Oh my god, that's so cute. I got this from Meta Yosemite in Oakhurst, California. I'm most excited about this, but let's open this first. So this should be a necklace, and I want to use it as decor. Oh yeah. Oh, look look at that. These moons, so fitting with Artemis, our RV. So I want to hang this up, and I might have to add length, but I want it just to kind of be a little garland or swag in a window. Little swag. I love it. Or I can wear it. I love it, I love it. But this is what I have been most excited about, and I've already declared it my favorite. It's so big that it, oh, look at this. Now, how fitting is this pendant with Artemis? We have grown a strong connection to Artemis since naming our RV Artemis, and this embodies that.